Hey guys, this is miicrow. I wanted to do a quick video about the new update that's coming out tomorrow because it does have some pretty significant gameplay changes, but there's one thing in particular here that's very noteworthy for a lot of people, and that Winter Warrior event, sorry, Winter Wonder is the name that you trade the mobs into, will now give you one Warrior's Health Spike per kill, caps at 3, and you get premium tokens from the new event that are equivalent to 2, and then you get one premium token, I believe, from the old event is what the equivalence is. And there's like sort of a backfill thing, so you're capped at how many you can trade in at a time if you stockpiled them. But you overall are getting more value if you had a stockpile of these tokens rather than spending them before. And the shout out I have is if you guys aren't in the Discord, I don't really make ads very often. I think this is the first everyone I've actually done so far. Now we have like 2,000 people in here. This is the first one I've ever done. But I said to farm this like 4 hours ago because there was like 3 or 4 hours, and if you farm this, you were basically set up for the rest of the event. And it was a very, very big deal. I do at here's very rarely too, like maybe once or twice a month at tops. Usually it's closer to like maybe once every other month. Uh, and like they save them for very important things. All the notifications are sign up as you want. If you selected a role for a notification, I don't know why there's the people react with the crow. You'll get notifications for certain things. There's also stuff in here for promoting other streamers. So if you want to just check people out, they'll show up in here as long as their Twitch is linked to the Discord. The discussion's been great. There's lots of builds. There's VOD reviews. Like we kind of cover it all. So shout out to that. But hopping back into this, in terms of stuff that is specifically going to be game changing here, the golden scarab crafts are changing so they no longer require chromatic steel. Instead, they're going to require additional golden scarabs. The golden scarab market went through the roof today. If you missed this, they just jumped up in value very, very quickly. And then they'll also require a matrix to craft now. Matrices require gypsum orbs, so everything is effectively going to be capped by gypsum orbs, and people that are not 250 crafting level in a profession to create either components or the gypsum orb themselves. So if you aren't 250, you're at a severe disadvantage in terms of the economy in this at this point. But if you are 250, this is a really good change. So that the question here is you're trading off this daily cooldown for people being 250 being rewarded to craft these matrices. And those matrices are going to go up in value, I imagine, over time. So if you aren't 250, this is a pretty good time to try to get to 250 to any professions like jewel crafting, uh, arcana, which is pretty profitable right now, to be honest. Stone cutting, like there's a few others, like I think weaponsmithing, that are good to kind of get to that 250 to get some of these bonuses. But it's really important to get something to 250 so that you can craft components for that matrix and actually have a good use for those gypsum casts so you can make a little bit more gold on the side for those. Also, if you're making bags, it's going to require an armor matrix or armor, a weapon matrix for weapons or tools, and a jewelry matrix for jewelry. So that's going to be used for crafting now, and you're going to be time gated by those matrices effectively instead of the golden scarabs, or sorry, instead of chromatic seals, which is overall a good change because it puts players back in control of the economy and how it works versus AGS dictating how the economy works from the chromatic seals. That being said, chromatic seals are still going to have value because they're going to be used for PvE based pieces where you upgrade them to acquire new perks. This is particularly useful for sets like wood grain, which are best for tank, for example. The problem with most of these sets is they have tons of magnify on them, and magnify inherently is a kind of a disadvantageous perk. The other thing I'll use these chromatic seals for all the time is for upgrading artifacts. And we all know that they keep adding more and more artifacts. There's a few new ones that got added that I'm going to talk about in a bit in other videos, but those aren't super relevant for now. Prismatic blocks also are effectively getting cheaper. This is good because prismatic blocks are like 4 times cheaper or 4 times more expensive than every other like prismatic related recipe right now. So it's probably a good thing that those are cheaper. And blessed rivets are also getting cheaper. They added in some changes that made gemstone dust easier to acquire with the ability to turn a platinum, gold, and silver into gems effectively at the smelter. But even with that change, it seems like the price for gemstone dust is relatively high. So I think this still makes a lot of sense to kind of fall through with that. We already kind of talked about the winter warrior, but basically it's going to be easier to acquire stuff now. You're going to be capped out at the amount of winter warriors you can do per day. It's no longer this like big slog where it's like, hey guys, I gotta do my 20 winter warriors today on this character because I need to acquire my best gear, and it's just like really stupid. So it's actually like kind of time gated now. If you get to this point where you get 6 premium winter tokens, you can go hit your 3 towns to get your additional tokens. You could watch the video I made about like Abyss, kind of farming area to run in circles. You can hit 8 floating presence spots there. That's actually the most efficient way to get tokens right now in the current patch. The next patch it will be slightly less efficient than the Winter Warrior, but it'll still be very efficient, as well as like other methods like farming Gleamite. So there's other ways to do this, but the Winter Warrior by far is still the most efficient way. And then for players with additional health spikes, you can convert extra. So it's just like overall, just like kind of quality of lives to the Winter Warriors. Some people are upset because they can't do like 30 of these each day. To those people, I ask, why were you doing 30 of these each day? But I think this is just overall just a bit better, and we'll just feel better overall. There are some other bug fixes too, the most notable of which for most people is the Frigid Dawn will now be upgradable at the Gypsum Kiln. Yet to be seen if you'll be able to craft that. I assume you'll be able to craft that with materia now. So if you had that Frigid Dawn, should be pretty interesting. I'm going to be talking about it in a video shortly. I still need to do the math for it if it's actually better than other pieces. Gut instinct says it not significantly better, but the best part about it is it's upgradable. The bad part about it is it has magnify. So if you're a healer and you're using this Frigid Dawn set, you're going to be locked in at 300 now instead of doing 350 250, which I think inherently puts you at a big enough disadvantage where it's not optimal for healers. But it's still something that's super, super good to consider. And instead, I would argue that healers on paper, again, I haven't done the math yet, should be looking at running like conditioning on top of Enchanted Ward, and that just overall gets more value. There's also a discussion now where Enchanted, or that health might be less value than conditioning, and I think I generally agree with that. That health is less value than conditioning at the current moment, because heals tend to be consistent, and if heals are consistent, the value of health effectively goes down, because your effective HP is dynamic, it's not static. When we did the effective HP calculation before, we said health is the best in slot thing. We're talking about, hey, if you never got healed once, but if you get healed consistently, health isn't like consistently reducing the damage done while you're getting healed, and like, oh, it's not dynamic. It's like it only applies once, that bonus, versus other stuff like conditioning will kind of apply as your health goes down to every single little piece of a damage that you're taking, if that makes sense. So the other perks tend to get more value if you're getting healed, but there's an interesting debate with that I kind of want to go into more in a different video. But overall here, kind of big event changes, but not huge changes. It's just kind of like how crafting works within New World. Also, there's good Prime Gaming Group loot, so you can check that out. And this is actually like relatively good. I'm not joking when I say this is good Prime Gaming loot. Like the vials are okay, whatever. 50 Dark Matter though is not bad. 5 Gypsum Orbs is not bad. You get this kind of cool looking bed, and you get 10 powerful proficiency boosts, which is like very significant from a PvE side. Definitely check people out who are in the Discord, like on the promotion side. If they pop up here, they're streaming New World, you'll get those drops. Or check me out if you just choose to do so. I stream pretty much every day at this point on Twitch at around like 6ish PST. So like around then, we stream all the wars. On the weekends, we start a little bit earlier. We like to catch some of the EU wars because I play in the EU wars now, and we just kind of have a blast. We do stupid things, like we explain how damage works in terms of boats and people sinking boats, and overall, just have a lot of fun. So, that being said, let me know if you guys have any questions, any feedback about the event, anything that you guys kind of want to see in terms of videos for the near future, because I'm at the spot where I'm like thinking about doing more optimization stuff, but there's other stuff you guys want to see that I'm kind of missing out on. Like if you want to learn how to begin how to get into PvP, if you guys are newer to the game or something that you think could be talked about a bit more, let me know, and I will try to get back to you and try to help out. And when in doubt, people in the community are very willing to help out, but if it's something that's like bigger and we don't have enough people or we don't have enough information about it, I am more than happy to make a video about like pretty much any subject that you guys think is necessary. And with that being said, I'll see you guys later.